Well, hello. My name is Steve George. I am the stage manager and the technical director for the Sandy Arts Guild. There's a lot going on off stage that's not viewable to the audience, and we want to share some of that stuff with you. We're going to take this opportunity to take you backstage. This is basically what we call the fly system. There's a lot to it. It's very basic, but it's also very dangerous if it's done wrong or improperly. During most of our performances, sometimes there'll be 2 or 3 flymen that are back here, and we call it manning the rails. During scene changes, we'll have them flying scenery in or out, or curtains or lights, or there's a lot of different things we'll talk about that we fly in and out. But they will be working back along here. A lot of people, when they think fly system, they think Mary Poppins or Peter Pan or something like that, where you actually fly people. The fly system has nothing to do with flying people. That is a total separate system that's also very complicated, but also very simple. The fly system itself only flies dead weight. So curtains, lights, the mirror wall. This theater has a movie screen, so it's just dead weight. So basically, these are considered line sets. This theater has 33 line sets, and each line set does something different. For instance, if you look here, some of these are already labeled. This is a leg, which is the side curtain that flies down on the side of the stage. This one is a teaser. So this one here is the electric. This one's a little bit different in that we have literally thousands and thousands of dollars worth of lights that are hanging on that batten. If it's weighted improperly, it could either fly out too fast or come in too fast and could damage the instruments or even, people on the ground or something. So for the electrics, we have a chain motor. To operate the chain motor, you have to have a key. And so there's only certain people that can move it in and out. So on this one, you have to insert your key, and then the lights can either go up or down. And that way it brings them safely to the ground so you can work on them. Okay, so on these other line sets, these big red boxes are called arbors, and they're just a big metal box that holds all the weights. So this one, you'll see, doesn't have much weight on it, just a little bit. And so this one shows that it's teaser number 4, which tells us that the weight of the curtain is about the weight of those. So to operate it, this is a brake that crimps the rope to keep it from moving. So you take the brake off, and then you pull this, and as this is going up, it's taking the leg out. So as the leg goes out, the arbor comes in. And it's fairly easy to pull because the weights are in there to counterweight the weight of the curtain. So let's lock this off. Now, if we need to hang something else on this batten or this line set, you want to add some more weight to it. So you open this, which is the safety mechanism. It'll hold it on there, and then you can add weight to it. And usually this works with lightweight things where there's just a little bit of weight. So now we'll bring the leg back into the ground, and it will pile up on the floor, and the arbor is going up to the top. Okay, so we've made reference to a batten. This is the batten, which is basically just a pipe that's 60 feet long. And in 7 different places on the batten, there's a chain, and above that is a 1/4-inch cable. So the cable goes to the grid over a pulley to the edge of the stage and then hooks onto another pulley that goes down to that arbor. So this one is dedicated as the leg that we flew in and out. However, These are interchangeable. We can move this leg to a different batten if we wanted to. It depends on the show and if it's needed to block backstage areas or something like that. So these get moved periodically. The only thing we cannot move is the electric, which is the chain motor, because those are the lights and there will always be the lights. Another thing that's kind of unique about the newer theaters that they're building in the valley, all the older stages around that have fly systems, the fly system ends at the stage floor. So the arbors are there and the weights are there. In this theater, however, they've installed what's called an arbor pit. And you can see that it goes about 8 feet below the level of the stage. They've got to have enough height to make the full motion of the arbor and the pulleys and everything. And so it is much cheaper to add an arbor pit than it is to build 8 more feet onto the roof. One of the things we've got flown here at the theater at Mount Jordan is a mirror wall. It's 32 feet long and 6 feet high, and the choreographers use this for teaching dance numbers. So this is the line set that the mirrors are on. And we're going to bring these in, and we talked about the counterweights and the teeter-totter idea about whatever's hanging on the batten, you've got to have it countered with weights on here. So as this arbor comes in, you've got a little bit of weight here, but then look at all this. That's the counterweight for that mirror wall. Each of these is about 40 pounds. There's a lot of weight on that wall. But you can bring it in easily because it's counterweighted. If it was either too much weight or not enough weight, you wouldn't be able to move it. So that's the whole idea of it, is to make sure that the weight that's on the arbor is the same as the weight on the batten. The other advantage of a fly system is being able to fly the grand drape out in addition to being able to open it. So in this theater, we can open our grand drape if we decide to reveal the stage in this way. Or the other option is to fly it out. So we use lots of different rigging hardware and equipment to rig the scenery to the battens. There's everything from chains. We use a lot of this this is 1/8-inch cable that we use. And we actually have several different lengths of it depending on what we're using. And then this is just a variety of the hardware we use to attach it. And some tools, and then we've got a bag that's just equipment for the fly system. So there's a lot more to it, but that's kind of the basics of the fly system. There's a couple other locations that very few people get to go, and we're gonna take you there. Okay, now we are climbing our way to the grid. We're on the landing that's part way up. You can see the line sets on the fly system, and we are about the level of where the lights are. And we are on our way upward to both the loading platform and to the grid. And now we are on the grid, which is right near the ceiling of the theater. 50 feet below is the stage level. We are now on the loading platform, which they also call the bridge sometimes. You can see the fly system and all the line sets here to my right. And you can see all the weights that are lined up, literally thousands and thousands of pounds available to load on battens. And we are well above
the stage level. Here you can see all the cables that come through the grid from the battens, which go up to the pulley system and then over to where the fly rail is.
So I hope these few minutes has helped you to understand a little bit more about the fly system. If you just here watching productions, now you'll know a little bit more about what's happening backstage. For those performers that are with us on a frequent basis, hopefully this explains what all these crazy guys in black are doing back here, running back and forth during the show. So anyway, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on another episode soon.